Hey everyone, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps, and today I'm going to be sharing some products from the new release that goes live tonight, January 15th, 2025. I'm going to be sharing the Bold Background Vines of Love dies. This will fit a full A2 size. I'm going to die cut it from Watercolor cardstock because I want to use some Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to give it a fun watercolor look. It's also an easy way to color these if you didn't want to use a colored cardstock or ink blending or whatever. This is just another way to do it. So I have my hearts taped on a piece of low tack tape just so I don't have to hold them with my fingers. And I am going to use a dark pink, a light pink, red, teal, and green for the colors for this whole background. As you can see, I'm just laying some darker area down. I'm dipping my brush into a little bit of water. I'm tapping the excess off onto a paper towel so I don't have too much water coming over to my images that I'm coloring. And then I'm just starting in the dark area and blending out. Now, the light color works really good. When you're using a dark color like that dark pink, it's a bit more saturated. So if I get too much color onto my paintbrush, I will wipe that off onto my paper towel and then come back to the heart because I want to have a darker area and a lighter area. The same thing goes for this red color. So any really kind of dark color. The coloring on there doesn't have to be neat, and I'm just blending it. And I really kind of like that watercolor look. It almost has this beautiful messiness to it to me. And that's what I like about it. So we have all of our die cut hearts here, and then we have, I originally thought these were flowers. They're not. They are the bases of the hearts, which are the flowers. Super clever, very, very pretty. So I'm going to color those the same color green that I'm going to do the whole background, and I will do the background a little bit differently, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. I forgot I needed to color this other little heart red. And then I can color the little bases to the flowers, their greenery, this green color. Really super easy. What I like about this is that it doesn't have to be perfect. There's nothing perfect about it. And that's what I like about it. I just think it gives you, it has lots of different variations in the color. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm just letting the water blend it out. Now on this, I'm going to color most of the images. I'm letting it run across the etched areas, the embossed areas from the dies. And then once I have this whole background colored, then I can use my paintbrush with some water on it to just do a quick blend over everything. So this is also going to give us some darker and lighter areas on this background, and it was so fast and easy to color. I love that, and it also turned out so pretty. You could do this with different colors of greens as well. You could do the stems in one color of green and then the leaves in different colors, or the different leaves in different colors. I just kept it simple because I really wanted it to be kind of all about the hearts. So now that that's done, I've dipped my paintbrush in some water, and again just tapping the excess off on a dry paper towel and just going over and doing a really quick wash of water over the color. I'm not trying to make it perfect. Again, I want lighter and darker areas. I want there to be a variation in color. So this was really fun and easy to do. I'm sorry that my image is down kind of below my camera view there. But as you can see, that looks great. Now in my splatter box, I'm going to take fossilized amber distress spritz and splatter it all over the background. I definitely wanted gold for this. I'm going to do that on the background and the hearts and everything. I do give it a tiny little spritz in just a second, but I really wanted the big splattered dots on that. Those are my favorite. I also spritz them just very, very softly, a couple little spritz on the background. Now I'm also going to be using the Scattered Hearts layering stencil, and I have to tell you guys how much I love this 2-layering stencil. I'm using Spun Sugar Distress Oxide ink to ink blend these little hearts, and I'm going light and dark in areas because I like the variation, but these are the cutest little chubby hearts ever. They kind of remind me of those conversation hearts, kind of the shape of them. I just love them. I think this is my new favorite heart stencil. So I'm going to ink blend that for a soft background that's going to go under our bold background. I'm going to splatter this also with the Distress Spritz in Fossilized Amber, and I'm going to do a soft, I think I do a soft spray over this as well. Nope, just a splatter. Then I'm going to add liquid glue behind my Vines of Love here. You could also die cut this multiple times and layer it if you want it to be good and chunky. You could do foam adhesive behind it. I feel like that would be kind of a lot of work, but you could do it. I just adhered it directly to the background. Something I thought of after I was done was I could have popped up the hearts with foam adhesive. So if I was to redo this card, I would add some foam adhesive behind my hearts, maybe like a 1 millimeter, very low profile, but I think I would do that next time. So yeah, that's the only thing I would change about this, but aren't these hearts so cute? Oh my gosh, I love them. So those are the big hearts. Now we can bring in the little hearts, and I'm just placing them anywhere, kind of keeping the color, kind of trying to spread the color out pretty good over this background. And then I also have decided to add more gold to this. I did want to do a gold embossing sentiment, and we are going to be using the Love You Friend stamp set and coordinating die for the sentiment. That is from the new release that goes live tonight. But I also decided to add a little more gold embossing to the images. I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a few minutes. Let's get our greenery on here. So instead of tucking the hearts under the other greenery, I could have added the foam adhesive under the hearts and then adhered this greenery on top of those big hearts. Just the big hearts, not the little ones. But I still love how this card turned out. I think it's so pretty. I love those pink colors. This is a great card for Valentine's. Isn't that lovely? Okay, let's do our sentiment. It says, do small things with great love. I'm doing that on white cardstock with clear embossing ink. I'm going to sprinkle on my gold embossing powder, and then I'm going to heat that with my heat tool, which I do have on, and I'm letting that warm up. Now, the line on the letter D did not emboss great. It didn't stamp great. So I'm going to bring in an emboss it pin rather than putting this back in my Misty, and I'm just going to draw my straight little line and add a little more of the embossing powder, and that's going to fix that. But we're also going to use that embossing pin here in just a minute on that background too. Then I thought it would be fun to add the embossing ink just to the edges of this and sprinkle on the gold embossing powder, just a little bit of it. Well, when I did that, that big heart at the top right got a little bit of the embossing powder on it, just on the edge, and I thought, I love how that looks, and how can I replicate that on the rest of my hearts without ruining my card? So I'm going to be using the emboss it pen. So I'm just going to trace around the edges, not even fully. I don't want it like a complete trace. I mean, if that's what you like, absolutely go for it. I just wanted a little bit of gold here and there. So then I'm going to use that pen, sprinkle on the gold embossing powder while it's wet, because the emboss it pens do tend to dry faster than the ink pads. So I'm just going to add that. And this is kind of a gray color so you can see where you are putting it. I'm going to heat that up, and I do add one more spot. And then you guys will be able to see here in just a minute. I will show you up close what that looks like. But I am loving that gold on the big flowers. I was debating if I wanted to do it on the little ones, the little hearts, but I opted to not. I just did it on the big hearts. Here's that coordinating die for the Love You Friend stamp set. I'm going to tape that in place. I'm so sorry my hair is in the way. And run that through. I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind this, of course, because I need to have some dimension. And I'm going to pop that in place. And this is adhered to a white A2 size card base. And let's take a look at this up close. So we have gold embossing. We have gold from the fossilized amber on the background. And look at those beautiful hearts with that gold embossing around the edges. I love that detail. I think this turned out so, so pretty. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope you guys have a really wonderful day.